What do we say?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
I'm early.
That's okay. I'm early. As long as I'm here, you're in good shape.
If not, I'll be waiting.
That's right. Oh, let's just go grab this one. Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I don't know why. It's just different.
You just keep adding the sauce.
Yeah.
So I guess you got somebody to start for you, Garrett.
Somebody started. I didn't do it.
I just got here.
Did you? Richard must have started it.
No, I didn't start anything.
Well,
Richard's here too.
maybe Patrick started it and then left. I don't
Who's
know.
this, Lou?
Hey, yeah, Richard.
Yeah. Hey, Lou.
What's up?
What's
All right.
up?
All right, man. I gotta run. I just wanted to
All right.
start this for
Have fun.
Gary. Ciao.
Take care. All righty, guys. Yeah. We're a little bit early, but it's okay. Let me shut my
Yes.
door. Oh, my. Me.
So, is Pat jumping on today?
I don't know. I left him a message to ask him that, but he didn't reply back. So I don't really know. I assumed that he would have been, but he was really tied up with some stuff. So I'm gonna assume that he might get sidetracked and not be here. And it's okay. Are we already recording?
I do not see.
And I'm gonna go ahead and even though we'll take a few minutes here, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. So please let me know you can see my screen. Give me a one if you can see my screen, okay, guys?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great, great, great. Now, we're gonna talk about a few things before we actually get in motion here. This site right here is one that I have a lot of these in different localities. Probably somewhere in the range 500 of them, give or take, of this niche. So we're going to talk about the traditional way when we build a website, and we're going to ask for some input here. When you build a website and you're wanting to rank it, because that's the goal, right? Everybody wants to rank their website, either rank it or use it to rank something else. So what's the traditional thing that you do to start that process? What do we do to create that authority and trust and all the rest to get ranked? What are the elements that we all traditionally do? Backlinks. But what do we do? How do we do that? Citations or a piece? Yeah, sure. Okay. All of this is true. Okay? But I want to change the whole process today in your thinking. Because traditionally, when you make a backlink to a website, you're what? A tier 1 or tier 2 backlink. That's all you are, right? Would everybody agree that's normally what's done? We make all these backlinks, they're all tier 1 or tier 2 backlinks. Would you say that would be pretty accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So today, we're going to take and change the way you think and the way you process and the way you do this. Okay. See, this is just a plain website, right? But what would happen if we could backlink the content right here and make it go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 deep? And then we could take our RSS feed and backlink it and say maybe our map and the other elements that we have on this site. What would the effect be if every element on every page you could backlink? Everybody getting the big picture yet?
My mind could explode.
Okay. Now, we're going to take this so deep that I believe I have no idea the true power of it because nobody's done this. But we're going to make it so relevant. And the other thing we're going to show you how to do today, if we can get to it, is we're going to take all our content on each page and basically anchor it to the other content in the other pages. Okay? What does Google feel about anchoring or backlinking to the different pages within your site? Okay? We're going to do something very different in a very different way today. So the very first thing I want to do to show you the process, how many of you have ever cloned a G site?
I
Give me a
have.
one. Give me a one if you've cloned a G site. Okay. So when we clone a G site, there's certain things that we already have to do. We can't use the same exact content that we had on the G site that we cloned. Why? Because it's the same content, right? Now, using the sites.google, there's a lot of things we get to do over here, right? But today we're going to show you how to take advantage of that. So when I came across this, I was thinking about this yesterday, and I prepared this today. So what I did is I went over to AI Writer and I made 5 pages of content. This is the last one I did. But I want to show you what it does when we create this content, because it does it in a unique way. So I need to get to where okay, where's my new docs? Oh, here, no, nope, went too far. There we go. Didn't go far. No, that's what's wrong. Okay, here's my content. So each of these, when I pull one up, I put this content in a doc. And remember what we do is we always make it public, right? Now, I want you to take an observation here. What did it do when I pasted this information in to a doc a brand new doc doing it this way. What happened that doesn't never happen in your content you put on your G site? What's different about this, guys? It's got an outline. Thank you, Fitz. So in our outline, how is Google going to view this document? Because it has an outline. It's going to be a positive, it's going to be a positive thing, right? Everybody see that? So what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? Let me show you guys. We're going to click right here, and I'm going to insert a comment. Now, when I insert this comment, I'm going to come down to a doc I prepared this morning. And let's see which one we got, okay? This is bendable titanium. Okay, so that's my first one right here. So we don't want to link to that. So we're going to grab the second one, the dental tools. And we're going to comment. Now, we can make a stack of comments and comment to the comment. We can stack all our articles on this one. But in this case, I don't want to do that. I may come back and add more comments to other things like RSS feeds and my slider and stuff like that. In this case, I want to grab the link, and we're going to bring that link and stick it in this doc at the bottom. Okay, everybody with me still? If you
We're
follow,
still on the edge of our seats.
okay. Okay. So now we have that. See, we're only doing the preparation work right here. So we're going to go back to our docs. We're going to grab the next one. The order is not as key here because it's always going to put the first one, it's going to put it always at the end so you know which one it was. So we're going to go to the last article and bring them forward that way. So dental tools is our next one. And again, we have our outline. Great. Now you can remove some of this stuff, okay? I'm not going to, but you could. So we're going to put another comment in there. Oops.
Hey, Gary,
Before-
I don't want to jump ahead of you. I don't know if you're going to cover this or not. Have you already added schema?
I'm going to cover
Okay.
schema. Yes. What's the difference between versus intertext you see on the doc? We're going to cover that, David. And it's a great question. I'm glad you asked it and brought it up. But let me kind of try and cover it for you. To do this right, I need to go back in my doc real quick. Let me keep my line of my line of thought here for a second. So we want tools. So we want this one right here. And I won't forget it. I'll come back to that. And there's no reason that you can't do that in here. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say instead of just this anchor text here, or not anchor, but a comment, let's say I wanted to take, let's find a good keyword. Let's go monodental implants as my keyword, right? I can insert a link. And we now have an anchor text built in the way that the traditional way you're thinking. See that? So this is already built into our doc, an anchor text that is actually going to another piece of content on the site. Now I would also take, and let me show you this, because we want to anchor text what our Wikipedia and our search and all the rest, right? So I'm gonna go monodental implants, insert a link, and I'm gonna go down to my little doc I prepared for this, and let's go YouTube. So this is my tube for this niche, my authority doc, right? So I now have got an authority doc anchor text in my content right here. Everybody still with me? Following this? Give me a 1 if you're following. Give me a 2 if you're not sure about anything. Because this is, you could get lost in this real quick if you're not. So what we've done is this right here, we're tiering the content. Okay? In other words, we're stacking the content and linking one to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. So we have a stack, right? In this particular case right here. Now, where this gets fun is when we put all this together on the site itself that we're going to clone. So let's go back to the next document.
Just maybe to reiterate something you said, it doesn't matter the order that you do this.
No, you just want to stay. You can switch the order around, but you're gonna, the more you stay organized with it, the more it's gonna lay out on your site the way you want it to lay out. Okay, so we've already anchored text on another one. I won't don't understand the link stacking where the chat link came from on the right hand. But Martin, this is what we're going to do it again. It's called a comment. So you come down here, click the comment, and what we're going to do is take in the comment. I already prepared this earlier to save some time. So I'm going to go to my these are my articles I put together. Okay. And I think I'm right here on, let me take a peek. Same day. So it's not that one, it's the next one. And it's going to be this one right here. So what I'm doing is linking from one article to the next. So once I make this comment, and each time you're going to want to take and get the links to the comment. I'm not to go back and get some I slipped over and I didn't catch myself. But But go all the way to the bottom. Give some space because I skipped one. There we go. So for the sake of argument, we'll kind of skim over that. Again, I want to show you something I didn't show you in the other document. So I'm going to slide down and I put two images right inside the content. Rather than our content being below our content, I put the images inside the comments, inside the content. Everybody see that? We don't
Yes.
we don't traditionally do that this way.
Did you stuff those images with metadata?
No, I didn't. I didn't have time to do that. I was doing this for the purpose of teaching this how to do this. So I didn't. Now
So
you
there's a couple
can.
of people that say they don't see the images.
Oh, they see it now.
Okay.
We're on the image now. I want to show you something else. What we can do in this image, we can insert a link, folks. So we want to go. I got to find myself here now. Well, for the sake of argument, let me see. Let's link it to my slider or an RSS feed or something.
So this is kind of where, you know, the power of collaboration comes in, right? As a group, we can test some different things and kind of report back and share results with everyone.
Okay, so now we've linked this image to an RSS feed. Okay. So what's going to happen when Google reads this content? What's it going to do? So let's kind of move on from that. It's going to read the RSS. It's going to evaluate it. It's going to score it. Okay. So we're going to go back to the next content. Well, that was kind of weird. A golf ball hit. Ugh. Made me jump. So speed things up. I go to my dock. Back up. Grab my link. Insert comment. Am I having fun yet?
We're in learning mode, Gary.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, George. So now that we've done that, everybody, now, here we go. We can anchor text again, guys. So we're going to insert a link. Now, we can anchor text any of these documents we have, right? There's another keyword. See, all this stuff doesn't take real long, guys. Right? Anything look hard in here at all? It to anybody. Okay.
I would say organization is key.
Organization is key, but I want you to remember nobody's doing this. Nobody's stacking the elements of your site, of a website. They're doing what you call one-dimensional, one-tier backlinking, right? What we're going to share today is how to do layers and layers of backlink on every element of your site. Tim, what we're going to do is actually put these documents that we're working on right now are going to go into a clone site we're going to build today. So all of these that we've already backlinked, made comments to, and tiered, and we have the links to these. Remember the document that we prepared right here. Here is your share links, right? So let me ask you, everybody, how many people have Backlink Factory?
I do. I guess a one or a Y
Right?
in comments.
So let's say I want to run these through Backlink Factory. Now we're doing what, tier 3 backlinks or tier 4? Okay. What about our links to our comments? We can backlink those comments that are inside the doc itself, right? And all the documents are linked to each other that we're going to put this content on our site. So we're going to be able to make 7, 8, 9, 10 tier deep backlinks to the elements of our website and not just the website. Are the light bulbs going off at all, guys?
Yes.
Okay. How about everybody else? Okay. So this is new. This is different for you. Okay. We're doing what has never been done to enhance the power that the G site already has. The G site has some advantages nothing else has. We're not going to have the exact same content. This is new content that we're going to put into a brand new clone site that we build. Okay, it will hold the same video, which is okay. That won't hurt us. Okay, but we're going to change the content out. All right. So the key is keeping yourself organized here in your notepad that you're preparing to do this. That's going to be your key. Okay. Let's bring that back up for a second. Notice how I labeled this stuff. I put the titles up here. Okay. So I know which one is which. I made a name for the clone, so when I get ready to do it, I won't misspell it. Here's one that's just infinity videos. So here's this infinity video list. You haven't even seen this one yet. This doc's got 100 or so videos, basically, that were done by Randy or Jared or somebody in there. We have a wiki, a scholar, a slider, and then we keep our comment links all these things. It looks spammy. I will say Google has a 0 spam score, Edward. 0 spam score. So the rules that Google applies to everyone else are never applied to Google themselves. You can take it to the bank. Okay? Yes, exactly. So let's go down to our final doc. I made 5 of them for a 5-page site. So again, we have our images and different things in there. So we'll come back to our doc, and everybody understand the one link we haven't used yet is what? The first one we did, right? So that share link goes in the last one we did. Now, I'm going to do something for the sake of doing it on one document. Yes, well, it's not really a true circle. We went from 1 to 2 to 3, 4, back to 1, basically 5 of them. But I want to show you one thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to the second one on the list for a second. Oops, I messed up. I didn't grab my link. I don't think. Let me take a look. I need 2 and 5. Sorry about that. Yeah, you got to stay organized, guys. That's for sure. So, our second one that was tools. So the one we didn't get was tools. So go back to tools for a second. Carolyn, what we do, and I'll do it on this one. I'll show you. I've already done it. So we want tools. When I created the docs, there's one step you have to do no matter what. You have to come up here, you share link, change it from restricted to anyone with a link. See? Then you can copy the link. So that being done, copy your link to your comment. Come back down to your doc. In this case, I need to add comment 2. So we're going to go back to the first one for the next step that we're going to do. This is optional. I don't know that I would do it exactly like this. I would tend to take more likely I would take my different authority docs and do that rather than link the comments from one to another, but I want to show you the option to be able to do it. So we want to go back to the very first one we did. And we're going to comment on a comment. So we come down to our doc, grab comment number link 2. Reply. Come back down, grab the next one. We're only going to do this on one doc. The next one I'll do a little different. And our final comment share link. And so now we have stacked comments. Now, my way to prefer to do it would be our authority docs. Let's go to a different doc and do that. Now, I will tell you, once you make a stack, there's only one link you can get. That's a link to the entire comment stack. Doesn't matter if there's only one or there's 25 or 30, it's the same link. So let's go to this one here, be fine.
And just to answer Carolyn's question, do you publish these docs to the web also? When
I
you-
showed we make them anybody with a
Public.
link. So when we click here, we now will add our YouTubes. And I've actually got two different versions of tubes in here. And you can use these for anchor text as well. Right in here before you ever do anything with them. And one last one. Okay, now, if you click any one of these, you can edit them, but you can't get a link to them. Only the top one can you get a link to this comment. It's the same one we already have, so we're not going to do it. Expand a little. Okay, here's what happens, Fitz. If I were to have this, say, restricted. Oops, let me do it again. Say it's restricted. Only people with access can open the link. It can't be read. Google's not going to read it either. You understand? Because I've made it private so Google can't read it. So when I change it to anyone with a link, it's the same thing as making it public to the web. That's what we did. Only editors, if it's only editors that can see it if it's restricted. Okay? Oh, welcome, welcome. So we now have this content already here, ready to go. Right? Everybody with me so far? No questions, right? So if I go over here to my G site that I've kind of got this ready and up, I'm going to clone this. So when I clone it, I have to make changes. So we're going to make a copy. That's the same thing as cloning it. And what's going to happen is going to say copy of. So we're going to remove copy of. We're going to come down to my doc. And we're going to copy Los Angeles. And we're going to take orange out of there. Entire site. Click OK. Now we've got to make a lot of edits here, guys. So notice it changed it for us. So we're going to change this. We could add a logo. So we're going to upload a logo. Okay, we're good to go. Okay. So we've got our little logo up there. Now, remember, I want to show everybody something. And I want to show you the importance of this. We're at the slider. It's embedded on 500 sites or whatever, right? What you can't see is the notes and the comments that are here and stacking this. So I want to go over long enough for you to see this. Each of these images is also linked. And if I remember right, I linked these. This is linked to this, which is linked to this, which is linked to this, this, and this. Let's go back up to the first. And you can see all the different things from 5 filters, RSS feeds, spreadsheets. There's even schema in here. So all of this is being read when Google reads our site. And you can see all the data we have in the notes. Throw the weather there. Yeah, okay. So I wanted to give you a backside glimpse of what we have in here that's going to be read on your site. Anybody see anything anywhere near anything like this ever being done?
I have it,
Anywheres.
Gary.
Anywheres. Okay? Folks, if this isn't gold for you, I don't know what is. And we ain't even started putting it together yet. All right, schema. We're gonna do a schema before and put it on the new G site we're making, okay? So don't get ahead of me, George. How do we put the slides together? All right, watch. We're going to insert a link. And in here, we can link our different slides together. It'll put them all in a row, except they're already done. Okay? That help, Fitz? Okay, guys. Anyway, you can link this. You're not tied to the images as far as you're linking. You can do all kinds of stuff. The images before you put them up here, you can load the metadata before you ever put them in your slider. All right. So we want to put as much authority and trust into what we're doing before we do it. So we're going to start putting it together. We've already cloned the site, right? So we changed the copy of, and now let's do our first content, guys. What are we going to do here? What's my first step? Come on, guys. What's your first step here in your clone? Rewrite? No, I've already rewritten it. I put it in a doc, guys. Watch. Remove it. Come down here. Find my docs. And find out what order you want them in. It doesn't even matter what order they're in. You want to know the truth. We're going to go here. And we're going to insert it. Now we have to kind of play with it a little bit. Oh.
I was thinking that was a trick question, Gary.
Yeah. Now, realize the content's all there. Google reads it. You may or not bring it all the way into here. You might. See, so you have to be careful of what it's going to look like, but it's all there, even if you don't see it. Okay?
You know, so it's
Sometimes,
interesting, Gary. I've never inserted a document, but that kind of opens up some new possibility because when I use the G Site Builder, I let the G Site Builder do everything.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I love this because I can clone, pull out some content, and then just pull in a new document
Right.
to give it some uniqueness.
Now, guys, what are we going to do over here as well? We're going to put a map in because we're in this is a new location, right?
Have you tried to insert a PDF document?
I haven't done that. I may have, it's been a long time. But I'm sure that it would be done a little different. To do a PDF, because you notice you don't see PDF in here. So in order to do a PDF, you're going to have to insert embed, and you could either by URL or code.
Or iframe, maybe.
iframe, yeah. So let's go to page 2. Now realize there's a couple things I don't like. I hate using the word home. But this is for today's lesson. So we're going to take this, we're going to trash can it, click above the next thing. Insert.
And did you use AI Writer, Gary, to
I
create
did.
these? Okay.
In fact, I showed it right in the beginning. I pulled it up to show that that's where I got the content from. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove something like this right here because I don't want anybody to see this. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to come back to it in just a minute. Okay. Now this is an unpublished site. It's not published yet, guys. So remember, any changes you make, what do we have to do? George, to embed the GMB map, you're going to have to use an embed code. Take your map embed code, and you can click this right here, put it where you want it, and yes, you can do that. I hope that helps. But let's not get sidetracked yet. Okay. Again, we're going to remove this content. We're going to click, and we're going to go back down to our docs. Choose our next content, and oh, I hate that. Anyway, you have to play with this a little bit. And it's a little harder when you're running on Zoom to get the effect that you want. It's a little easier when you're not on Zoom. All right, we're going to leave it there for right now. That's not the whole content, but Google can see all of it, which is our purpose. Okay? So let's get back to the top. Anybody see anything hard yet?
Nope.
It's not hard. It's just nobody's done this. So now we've got that. We're going to go back up. We're going to go to more. We're going to add our doc. And
And just so everybody knows, I keep Gary honest. I track these G sites using Rank Tracker. So I give him a report every couple of weeks.
Now, again, we have a map that doesn't belong. So we're going to trash that. Click it if you want to add another map on this page. Select it. We're going to remove these items in here because we're going to use something very different today. And so what we're going to do is we're going to head over to, how many people have seen the sitemap software or how we do that?
I've seen it. I have not used it yet. So
Well, we're going to do a live demo right now. So we're going to go to our pages. Okay. Again, I always tend to change that word to a keyword. Whatever you're comfortable with is fine. We're going to click the three dots on the last page that we have. We're going to go add a subpage. We're going to name the subpage. We're going to click done. We now have a sitemap. See it? Can we link it? Yes. We can add a link to it if we choose to. But we're going to do something very special in here. So we're going to click create, insert a text box. We now have a text box. We're going to pull, I got to do one thing, I'm sorry. I have to publish at this point in order to get my link. Publish. Copy my link. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to paste in my link. And I'm going to ask the software to generate a sitemap. So we're going to try and generate that. Oh, give me an error. Why did it give me an error?
man, and that's crazy. You know, it's crazy. You think Google would do that automatically?
No, they don't do it. See if that'll do it.
But this is one little extra thing that nobody else is doing.
All right, let me reopen the software. I just used it. All right.
Hey, Gary, is Sitemap Factory, is that on the website yet?
No.
John's asking where he can purchase.
Oh,
or-
he's right. I didn't grab the, he's 100% right. Nice catch. Nice catch.
Come on, Gary.
Hey, we can all. Nice catch. Where you at? Okay. Now we might be able to do something. No, it still got me, give me an error. Okay. Just get with me, John. I need to find out what I did wrong. Because I just used it a couple hours ago and it's perfect. So I'm not sure what I got here.
Does the entire site you've published the site, correct?
Yeah, I did to get the link. So, but I want to go back to, let's go back to our pages and to our sitemap. We're going to put our sitemap here, right? Underneath,
What's the output, Gary? Is it does it give you like a group of links, or does it give you some embed
it's
code
gonna
that you put in?
it's gonna give you the HTML. When I
Gotcha.
pull it up here, oops, wrong one. When I pull, oh, I closed it. When I pull up, it's going to give you the HTML and the code and the text links that show the sitemap.
Wow.
Okay. So you actually do have a complete real sitemap in here. So the next thing I want to do is add the stuff that I want in here. I don't want anybody to see. For example, let's go to our sheets. I'm going to add my master URL sheet. I'm going to add my authority docs that are related in this niche. Sometimes it doesn't let me grab more than one for some reason. I don't know why. Slide them all up and just go on this way. And well, I'll go ahead and add a couple more just for the sake of doing it. Now I do want to I got to watch my time because there's a couple things I want to bring in and get done today as well. Let's see. So at this point, there's a step we have to take. I didn't actually get the sitemap in here, but the sitemap will have all your links in here. So there's a step we have to take, and I'm going to show you what it is. At this point, we hide from navigation. The master URL has all my G-Site URL bits. So if we hide from navigation, it means Google can read it, but nobody else can get to it. Give me a one if you understand that completely what I just said. Okay? Nobody can see it except Google. So if I come to my home page, right? Other than being in the edit mode, and this will disappear even if I come back to it, you won't even see it. I won't even see it. I just know it's there. See?
That
So you
sounds like
hide
that could be
other,
another strategy, Gary.
yeah. You want to hide what you want to hide, but you want Google to read it. Okay? So let's go back to the home page for a second. We're going to do a couple more things. We're going to go, here we are right here. So we're gonna change this URL right here. Well, let's refresh it. I need, now I don't want to really refresh this. I need to copy a couple of things first. So I'll explain what I'm doing after I get it done here. Ooh, I missed the H. Look at here. Okay. Everybody know what we're doing here? So we're going to remove this. Actually, what I can do is just refresh it. Written money. I like, that's cute. I like that. All right. We're going to make a schema markup generator. We're going to do an article. We could do a breadcrumb event, FAQ, how to, but we're going to do an article. And we're going to do the article type. We could do news article, blog posting, or article. We're going to give it the URL. So we have to go back to the home page, grab our URL, come back to our schema markup. We're going to give it a headline. So for a headline, we want to stay as much as we can. Monodental implant cost comparison versus traditional implants. Now, why do I do that? Anyone?
You're putting your long tail keyword in the headline.
Well, I'm matching it up with the content that's on that page too.
Yeah.
Oh, now we have put an image URL in. So I saved all that to save a little time. So we'll grab this one first. Guys, you can't imagine the power of having your image in here, right? The schema for your image. Anyone?
Yes. Yeah. Mart is asking why article and not website schema.
Well, because we've already got, think of it this way. the article schema basically is a website schema, but it's a website schema for this particular article on the front page. Okay? This is what I would call a very simple schema. It's not complicated. There's a lot more complicated schema out there, but I want to show you a simple, quick way to do it on your G site. Okay? And that's the key to this. Oops.
Anybody here snoring? That's my dog.
So, guess what we have, guys? Oop, we don't want to take too much, right? It get a little tricky. Control C. We now have schema. So we're going to go back to our site. We'll show you how we put schema into our website. Going to insert, come all the way up, embed, embed code. Control V. Going to insert. It's a little slow because we're on Zoom, but there's a couple more steps that we're going to do.
Do you add schema one time, Gary, or do you create a unique schema for each page?
No, I just put it on the front.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to slide this into the header. See what I just did, everyone?
You're tricky.
Yes, tricky. So it's now part of our header. Nobody's going to know what you just did. It's hidden, except from Google. So we have time for the next step I was hoping to get to. So
Tim's asking if you can show that step one more time.
yeah, I can. We're going to insert embed code, Tim. Copy, paste. You click next. Okay. But I'm going to cancel because I can't have it twice. It's just be irrelevant. But once it's there, there's a box that'll show up. You take and click in the middle of the box, hold your mouse down on the left, and slide it into the header. Okay? You'll get to see it again on the replay, so you can stop it and pause it and go back if you need to.
Have you ever looked at Page, Gary, to to see if you can actually see it,
No, you can't see it.
even when you look at the source code?
You could right click and see it, but you wouldn't know what you're looking at if you're not,
Right.
if you're not familiar with it. So, I haven't had an error code as of yet. Um, so, and this is the one way I found to do schema for G sites. I don't really know, George. I'd have to fib because I just don't know. So,
Yeah,
Um,
this is something that I read. I was doing some research last week, and I read that schema can be executed from anywhere.
yeah.
So it can even be executed remotely. So but that's an interesting question. Manadip. Um I'd have to look at some of the stuff that I'm testing to see if it generates any errors, but I don't think it will.
Okay, the next step, guys, I want to cover real quick is how many people do YouTube on a regular basis? Here,
I do.
do anybody know that you cannot get RSS feed off a single video? You can for a playlist, you cannot, as far as off of YouTube normally, off a single video unless it's the only video on the playlist. They used to be able to, they changed it. Why, I don't know. I'd be fibbing to you. So I do want to show you a workaround to get RSS feed for a video that you can make use of. Everybody ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. This particular video is one of Randy's son's videos, as you can see. I don't know why they called it that, but it's a particular bridge, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to copy this link. Okay. And where can we go create a feed from? Where we create our G site feeds from? Come on, folks.
I was thinking that new site, the new RSS feed site you shared last week, but I can't
Five
remember what it is
filters.
right now.
5 filters. So we go to 5 filters. We're going to clear it so you can see it in come on. I hate when it does that. But we're going to preview it. Doesn't give us a title. That's kind of normal. Contact, copyright, press, and about, and YouTube, right? So if we right click and we copy the address, we could run over to Bloogle. Refresh the page so you can see the whole process. We're going to take and put our feed in there. Don't limit the length. It's going to be limited no matter what. But this is JavaScript. You can't use JavaScript. You have to use iframe. So we're going to come down and change it to an iframe. And we're going to submit. And if I'm right, then you get to see the preview. See it? You now have a single video RSS feed. Um, Jamel, this process was created yesterday for the most part. So to give you a result from a 1 day strategy of mine would be rather difficult. It's going to take a little longer than that, okay? But I can tell you that this is what I would tell you. We're using all Google properties for the most part, except for the feeds. And we're working inside those properties, and we're creating layers and layers of tiers of backlinks. Everything I know tells me we're going to have great results, not just good results. So, I mean, you guys can run with it and test it to the heart till your cows come home. And I think you're going to be very happy with what you get. Well, I can't make no promises off a 1 day test. What I will say is be very moderate how deep you go at first until you play with it for a little while. Okay? Because we could take this thing, we're going to find out. We're going to go right back to our G site. And we'll come here at the bottom. And we're going to embed. Stick the code in there. And we'll insert it. Be a little slow, but now anytime you do the iframe, you have to kind of adjust the box a little bit, guys. Oh, come on. Went the opposite way, didn't it? Anyway, there you go. You have a YouTube in there, a YouTube feed for a single video. I don't know anybody else that can do that currently, but there's your workaround for that. Jamel, let me ask you a couple questions. Are you using the anchor text keyword file at all? Do you know what the anchor text keyword file is? Let's cover that real quick, just so you understand where I'm going with it. This may be a little repetitive for a few people, but we'll go do this anyway. We're an hour 20 minutes, so we could take about 10 more minutes. So we're going to go to AI Factory, and we'll clear all this, and we'll come to our keyword tool. So we're going to take a root keyword, and since we're working with mono and demo, we'll do that today. And we want to take the top 100.
Why don't you do dental implants, Gary? That would be more competitive.
Yeah, you're right. So we got dental implants up there, okay? And it wouldn't matter if you see it's still related. So it's still a related keyword. So it's not going to hurt no matter what we do. So we're going to go ahead and grab our keywords. Now I could anchor text them right here, but that's not what I want to do currently. So we now have our keywords. So we're going to copy those. And I'm going to get rid of some of these. See, this is what I was afraid of. So this is not going to work for us. So we're going to clear this. Okay, here's a better way to go. See, our target's not worldwide, so we have to stay away from the worldwide stuff in this particular case. So we're going to go a different strategy. So we'll go ahead and write and see what we come up. I probably could have gone long tail LSI, but see, we got rid of the junk that we couldn't use. See that? Everybody see that?
Yep. Sounds like we need to talk to Chris about a filter.
Well, that's possible. So let's go to our docs. We're going to create a brand new doc. Now, guys, I want to bring something up. Anytime any of these docs you created on your drive, and you're thinking about content, changing content, etc. If you edit this content, let's do this real quick. If I edit content on this document, any place this document is, what happens to it?
Changes.
It changes. So if I paste more content here, it gets added wherever I have it embedded. Auto updates. Okay. You see the advantage of this here, anybody?
Loud and clear.
Okay. So we're going to create a new doc. This is going to be called a keyword doc, but we're going to title the keyword. So once I title this, I highlight it and it fills it in for me. So now we have all the keywords that we'd like to rank for. So we're going to highlight these keywords. And we're going to go insert a link. Now we could do some of them and change different URLs to different pages. Okay, we don't have to do them all to the same link, right? But in this case, for the demo purpose, we're going to use the link of the new site we just created. We're on the home page. So we're going to copy the link, go back to the doc, paste in, apply, and now we're targeting the keywords to our site. We want that relationship between these keywords and our site. So Jamel, is that kind of clear? Right? Does that make sense to you? What else can we do since we're right here, guys? What else can we do over here? Comment.
Add a comment.
There we go. Comment. Make us a comment stack on related properties. What related properties? John, we actually could do this technique for our money page too. I might do it in a separate doc, but it's still going to give that relationship of keywords to your site. You want Google to give you all the love for your keywords you're targeting. Martin, I just said that we could do some of these to one page, maybe do some to the next page, and not all to one necessarily one URL. You have many options, but don't hesitate to link comments to your authority docs. Michael, I've never said one Google site, one keyword. I'm not a big believer in that. I really don't believe that to be how I would ever approach it, because it makes no sense. So whoever really said that or teaches that, why would they teach it? You'd have to have 100 sites just to rank for the main keywords that people search for. That wouldn't make any sense to me. Well, I would tell them to go fly a kite. I mean, I would disagree with that solely, but that's just me. Okay. You have to find your comfort zone where you believe. There's an old saying, if you want to be a guru, never follow one. Okay? Apply the thought process that makes sense to you. I particularly don't
And
agree
test.
with that. So, all right. We're at that point of asking a few questions. Okay? Anybody learn anything here today at all?
Yes, I fell off the edge of my seat.
Okay. Was this exciting today? I had fun teaching this today. That's how it meant that much to me just to teach it. Okay. I mean, I have a strong feeling that this will open a lot of doors in ways that gives you an edge over anybody else's site, basically, particularly if all things are even, because you can tier every element of your site. All the different things you embed and put, or the content, all of it. Nobody's backlinked the content on a website before that I've ever heard of. So I think you have a masterful edge with different layers and elements to it that will really should show you some effect. And Google should really give you some love. Okay? So, I mean, it's just now the one things that we didn't touch about. Let's cover one more element first, guys. Is there a single Google site? I'm not sure that I understand the question, Michael. Google site factory building process. Okay. Yeah, there's some videos that I have in basic building of a G site. if you get with me, I'll dig that up for you. But I want to show you one more element, guys. Everybody sitting down? Don't stand up on me. Anybody notice all this stuff on the right over here?
You mean that keep button?
Well, what's that say?
Calendar?
Calendar. What happens if I click this, guys? Not quite. We're going to import this document into one. Okay? But we want to be related to the correct one. So now watch what happens here, guys. What we just do.
You linked your doc.
Guess what else? Yes. How about Google Keep? Take a note. Title. Oops, learn how to. Well,
All right, this is bonus material, Gary.
yes, yes. Everybody see what we just did? We added the Google Keep a note into a calendar. All right. How about maps? We're going to add this map of Spring Hill. And we're going to associate it. We're going to copy the link to the map. Guys, see that? See what we're doing?
Yep.
So now that I've copied that, let's go back a second. What we could do. Oops, getting the right keyword. There we go. I guess what we could do is we could add a comment and link to that map. Anybody head spinning now? All right, guys, I think we've kind of danced around and put this together to show you a way to build a G site. Now, grant you, we took our time. Can we add a clickable link to a video description? I don't know. that's a little, we could have the video description. I'll tell you how I would try that, John. I would copy my video description, but I'd also copy the link to the video I have it in. Okay? And I would use the doc the same way we use our docs today. And I would try that. And attempt it that way. But can you put links in YouTube descriptions? Yes. And they're clickable if they're a true link. Some of the things I've tested in the past were keyword documents like this as a tag in YouTube, because YouTube limits the number of keywords you can use or tags. So for me, it was a workaround to try and beat them at their own by using one with 100 in it versus, half a dozen. I hope that it kind of answers your question. But I mean, is anybody excited about want to try this out, all this out?
I was just thinking, Gary, on the clickable link to a YouTube description. I just did a test, where I grabbed a YouTube video, put it in a Keep. Maybe the way I would try or test that, I would copy and paste my video description into my Keep notes,
Yeah,
and then grab the link from there.
that's a good possibility. Yeah. Fitz, you see this keyword file I got right here? Two things that I do. Watch, let's just take one more step. So let's make sure I haven't made this, it's still restricted. So I need to take anyone with a link. Okay, so let's go back over to the very site we're trying to take advantage of, right? So let's go to our pages. And my thought was to put this on the sitemap. So I'm gonna take insert, come down to my docs, and let's go find that keyword file. There we are. Insert. And now Google will read this and we're trying to get guilt by association. Okay? And there's no limit to these keywords. I'm going to tell you, you could put 500 keywords in here. Maybe you got 2 or 3 different subcategories for this niche. There's no limits. Nothing's going to hurt you. It can only help you. Okay? Anybody have a question? No questions?
I'm sure people have questions as they start testing.
Right,
Where do you
right.
want people to ask questions, Gary? In the G Site group?
Yeah, in the G-Site group is preferred, or the test, or the training, or training page. Either one is fine.
Yeah, I would encourage everybody that's in the G Site group to share some of your tests, and that's what helps us all get better.
That's exactly what I would say. And I think this is a good strategy for the GMB as long as you're using a buffer. Okay? Because I don't think anybody's ever stacked the buffer with this much and this deep before. I think we're magnifying the power of a G site exponentially in a sense because we're tiering any level of stack tiers deep that you want to go. Okay. I'm going to advise you with the GMB, go methodically and slow. Don't get crazy with it because you can move the GMB in the wrong direction. You can't adjust quick enough. So take it methodically and slow and steady with a GMB. But other stuff should be perfectly fine. I think this method should give you a solid edge over your competitors in what you're doing, no matter what you're doing. Okay? Would everybody think that it's logical? Okay.
Got another
Well-
question from Jamel.
Calendars, here's the mystery with a calendar, guys. Some things calendars push really fast. Other things calendars push consistent. But there's a 15 to 20% that it doesn't do anything for. And that's been the long sought out mystery. The only thing I can tell you, and for certain, that the likelihood that some of your on-page, off-page SEO is not structured correctly, thus the calendar becomes ineffective for a small percentage. Okay? Or scenario number 2, we overamp it. We put a 7x48 for a local product, and we hurt ourselves. We shoot ourselves in the foot when you only need a 5x10 or a 7x10, and you stuck a 7x48 doing. It's kind of like putting. Here's a better way to put it. It's like putting a 428 Hemi in a Yugo. Okay. Everybody know what a Yugo is?
Yep.
I had a friend of mine trade a $35 saw for a Yugo, and I think the guy that got the saw got the better end of the deal.
Or maybe if you don't know what a Yugo is, you put a 426 Hemi in a Honda Civic.
Yeah, there you go. Same analogy. Okay. There's some things that are a waste. That would be a waste.
You know, the other thing I would add, Gary, I think the other important thing is to be consistent and test and monitor.
Yes. And stay organized. Copy all your links, have them pasted in notepads. Okay, guys, it's been fun. This has been a great training. I had a lot of fun. We're about an hour and 45 minutes, so I appreciate you having the patience to stay with us today.
And thank you, Gary, for taking the time out to do this.
Oh, man, I had a great time. Great time. So we'll get the recording out as soon as possible, guys. Just have an awesome rest of your day. If you do bump up, have any questions, feel free to get a hold of them or leave a note in the training room or the G site room. And
Yeah,
I'll try.
or even if you've got something that you want to test, drop some ideas, because I'm always willing to test test anything with, you know, with somebody if you need, a second set of eyeballs. So,
There you go. Appreciate it, Dave.
yeah, thanks again, Gary.
You're welcome. Okay. We're gonna take our
And thanks to
Zoom.
everybody for stopping in today.
We're gonna stop our share right there. And well, Richard, we'll let you close it out.
All right. Thanks for stopping by today,
Thanks,
and
guys.
look forward to seeing everybody on the next training session.
All right,
And
guys, it
stop
was
that
fun.
recording, Gary.
All right, I already stopped that. All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day.